What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and they're out of both Chico, California and Mills River, North Carolina, and this is their Powder Day IPA. So this is a double dry hopped American IPA that comes in at 7.7% alcohol by volume, 45 IBUs at the time of review. And this can is just over 3 months old. So I wanted to review this one last year, but I couldn't find a single can of it. And the same thing happened this year. When this first was released, I could only find 12 packs of it. I went to like 3 or 4 different stores. Finally was able to grab a single can of this. Unfortunately, it's just over 3 months old, so not super fresh, but this is a beer I'm reviewing as part of Shelfie Beer Reviews for the month of March 2023. So, you know, sometimes you can't get the freshest Shelfie beers, and here we are. So I'm hoping it's held up quite well. We will see. Now, they are brewing this one hop-wise. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my dome piece, but I think it's Amarillo, Citra, Chinook, Comet, Herkules, Idaho 7, Mosaic, and Polaris hops. I think that's right. And then they are dry hopping it with all of those hops aside from Herkules and Polaris. Those are the only two they are not using in the dry hop, I think. Could be wrong, but whatever. I tried my best. Anyway, let's crack this one open and get it into the glass and see what we got going on here. So, yeah, Sierra Nevada, they have, you know, the Mills River, North Carolina location now. And we get stuff fresher from them, but a lot of times I just can't get single cans of their stuff unless I find them in like a mixed 6-pack at my local grocery store, which is typically Wegmans. A lot of times I can't get a single until they're, you know, 2-3 months old, and it's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. So anyway, that's like a hazy boy. I said American IPA, which is typically listed as on Untapped, and I believe Beer Advocate is American IPA, but I'd say that's a hazy IPA. You hold it up to the light, definitely has a haze. I can see my hand a little bit through it, but it's definitely murky. It has a one finger, off-white, super creamy looking head. Beautiful. I mean, that beer has, you know, old school American IPA look to it, but hazy. It just has that deep, like orange gold color. Looks beautiful. Let's get a nose. Wow, smells pretty damn fresh, honestly. Tons of citrus. There's orange rind, there's orange peel, there's a juicy orange in here, tangerine, grapefruit, definitely citrus heavy in the nose. A little bit of an underlying like bready malt character as well. I just got a little bit of like a honeydew melon, but I'm also getting a slight like berry kind of note. Like a raspberry into blueberry, like a mixed berry. Mixed field berry. We'll just make shit up. And then it has this nice piney kind of almost pine sap feeling to it as well. This is like one of those hybrid West Coast IPAs. It has, you know, the berries and the tropical kind of fruit character along with that citrus, but then you get the piney kind of feel to it. Also, like you still can pick up on the bready malt. You know what? For just over 3 months old, this smells fucking spectacular. Now, if this was, you know, say 3 weeks old, would it smell as spectacular? It still smell pretty damn good, but I'm kind of impressed. Over 3 months old, it's holding up quite well. Yeah, it's juicy, it's fruity, it's sweet, but I have a feeling this is going to have a nice moderate bitterness. It just smells good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Wow, that's good. This is substantially more bitter and like punchy on the finish than I was thinking it was going to be. This is giving me, okay, time out. Before I say what I'm going to say, people are like, what? That doesn't taste anything like it. Having reviewed it recently, this is like a little bit more of a tame Stone Ruination. Seriously. It's not exactly like Stone Ruination, but it has that nice, like moderate bitterness, gripping bitterness on the back end. I think this is a little bit more of like, again, one of those hybrid like North Park beers you get where it has like a really nice, fruity, juicy beginning to it, but on the back end, it has roots and it's deeply embedded into a West Coast style. So anyway, let's go body and mouthfeel. Buying this medium touch over, 7.7, I'm fine with it. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. On the palate, it's not overly done. It's moderately bitter, and you know that. It's very smooth on the palate too. And this is a relatively clean beer after that bitterness. Like, it just has like a clean kind of finish to it. It's really nice. This though, it's definitely bitter and it's quite dry, and I'm digging it. So right from, it's citrus, it's orange, it's tangerine, it's grapefruit. And again, it encompasses the entire fruit, from the juices of the fruit to the rinds. You could even say more of a zest, maybe a pithy kind of thing, but it's all there. Right after the citrus, though, I get hit with this bready malt character. It dives underneath the palate. It's kind of with you for the entire ride, but it's never the predominant note, never is the thing you notice the most on the palate, which is, for a style like this, welcomed. And then halfway through the palate, that's where more of that tropical kind of berry medley into honeydew melon. Now, it's not, they're like underripened berries and honeydew melon. It's not, this beer isn't like really sweet. This is more dry and bitter than sweet. But the front half of the palate has the fruity character. It just doesn't have the accompanied sweetness you would get. And then second half of the palate, this finishes full on dry, a moderate bitterness. It has a resinous pine quality, a little bit of a floral aspect. It almost has a pine sap or like a pine cone. There's almost a minty thing going on as well. Man, this is fucking delicious. This is, for what I expect out of this beer, for, again, over 3 months old. It's Sierra Nevada. It's a seasonal from them. I'm expecting here's the thing. Sierra Nevada has pretty much always made good beer. A lot of their seasonals are hit or miss for me in recent memory. This beer, I think it hits, and it hits damn well. That's really good. And here's another plus to this one. 7.7%, you can't tell. A little bit of a warming in the chest, but on the palate for almost 8%. Yeah, this is, you know, I always say this, don't go into reviews with preconceived notions. How many times I've said that in a review? Probably at this point, hundreds. And I try not to. But when you do these shelfy beer reviews and you do reviews from a bigger craft brewery like Sierra Nevada, sometimes there's limitations to a lot of times what they're going to do with a beer, the freshness of the beer, how it's handled from when it leaves their brewery. You know, some places, just some distributors don't care, some shops don't care about it. So you never know what you're going to get when you get something that's just over 3 months old. But this has exceeded my expectations, and I'm going to give it a pretty solid rating for what it is. So Powder Day IPA, they're a double dry hopped American IPA, or I guess a double dry hopped hazy IPA, whatever you want to say. This is a high 4.25 out of 5. I'll go 4.35 out of 5. This is hitting me in the feels. This almost gets in the low 4-5 range. This is one of the best hop forward beers I've had from Sierra Nevada as far as new beers go in a hot minute. This is tasty. If it's on the shelf right now, especially if it's been kept cold, grab this and give it a go if you have not. This is delicious. I'm sure folks will agree and other folks will disagree with me, but like, I'm pretty happy with this one. If I could drink like, you know, more beer outside of reviewing than I do, I'd go buy a 6 or 12 pack of that right now, because the price point, it's $10.99 a 6-pack here in the West New York area, the Buffalo, New York area. And that's a great value and availability. Wherever you see Sierra Nevada, you should have already seen this. This was like their, I want to say, you know, winter seasonal or whatever. Go get you some. If you like West Coast IPAs with a little bit more of like a juicy, fruity kind of kick to it, this is for you. 4.35 out of 5. This is fucking delicious for what it is, honestly. I think even fresher, I would like to see. This would probably get into the 4 or 5 range if this was fresher. It's that good to me. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. I'm kind of blown away from this beer because, again, it's a little bit older. It's Sierra Nevada. I'm not expecting, you know, fucking... I should, you know what? Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, classic. Torpedo, classic. Celebration, classic. They make fucking good beer. I don't know why I'm surprised, so I'm shutting it down. If you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one. Cheers.